Oh, man. Live on 2? Live on 2? Maybe? Live on 3? Let's go see. Come with me, and you'll be in a world of pure imagination. Look at that. We are sharing our screen. And now it's me. We're probably going to share the screen, though, in a second. Yeah. Yeah. Post. Great. Okay, good. We are Gucci. All right. So today was a pretty big day, honestly. I did a lot of shit, and yeah. So part of me wants to just share these notes today and kind of just go through everything, because I think that'd be kind of a cool little thing to see. So why the fuck not? Let's do that. Sometimes just gotta send it. All right, cool. I know I say this, really enjoying this new setup, really enjoying actually getting to use Streamlabs OBS to the degree in which it should be used, like, switching between scenes and all that crazy stuff. I am extremely happy with the progress I have made with everything that we have going on here. It is doper than hell. So I'm grateful for it, and I want to continue to move it all forward. With that being said, let's dive into what we did today. And obviously you can see the stuff here. So we're just going to kind of go through it like so and talk about it. So, and actually this is a great time for me to mention the way that I normally do these, because obviously I don't know how many times I've actually shown the notes here and actually done it like this. I couldn't before because it was way harder, obviously, with using my frickin' phone. But with what we have going on now, it's much easier, and this is pretty much what I do here. So every day, I might as well just talk about this to start off. So every day, this is what I do. I have this version of Google Keep here, which is under my professional account, I guess you could call it, whatever. Like my main account, me at markjoseph.samansky.com. And this is Google Keep, and in here I have, all the recap of everything that I did today. I kind of put this down as I go so I can do it for these streams at night. And then there's a bunch of other things down here that I've been experimenting with. So like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I want to kind of do different things each day. I want to, make sure that at some point here, every day becomes something that I'm doing, in a sense of maybe one day is video editing, this, that, and the other thing. It's an idea that I had, but I haven't been able to implement yet. But for the most part, this is where I do a lot of stuff right here in this recap section. If we pop over here, there's a bunch of different card benefits and everything like that I have in this personal one. And then this is kind of a little to-do list, almost so today, no excuses. And I just write, random shit in here that I want to do each day, and then ultimately it gets pushed over to that recap list. So these are a couple things that, and again, every single day the stuff doesn't get done per se. I try to. It says no excuses there, but I'm ultimately, I want to list that laptop, clearing. I was actively doing that here before the stream, clearing everything off of this computer, this big bitch here. And because we have too many files on there, I started editing the 50th one, and then sometimes I have if I need to buy things, I'll put that either in that list or separate list or whatever. So just kind of working on that. That's just kind of my general workflow with these things, how it relates to the stream and everything else that I do. That's kind of just the outline, and I figured since we were showing that off, we should explain what was going on. So let's take today for example. I had some things on my list that I needed to get done. I went through the entire day and I recapped them here in this list. So we're going to, just like normal, but you can see it now, we're going to go through everything and talk about like what I did and why I did it and my thoughts on it and all that sort of jazz. So like the first thing I did, I think it was even last night, was I put all my hockey games in my calendar. I do that because I like to keep a detailed calendar. And total side note, if you have a significant other, get a shared fucking calendar. Like, don't even think twice about it. Truthfully, I'm gonna turn the gain down. I think it might be too loud. But yeah, like if you have a significant other, you absolutely need to have a shared calendar so you can put events in, they can put events in, and more importantly, you can both see what you have going on. That has been a tremendous help for Amanda and myself. That is more of a AM and the PM topic, I suppose, rather than just like a random live stream thing, but it is very pertinent and it's very, important. So I would highly recommend doing that if you have somebody else that's like in your life like that. And I even go so far as like doing like different layers of things. So like each business and each thing has its own layer of the calendar. So like if I ever needed to see all of the things for Fueled by Progress or what have you, then I would have everything in there on its specific layer, and I could search via that and all that sort of stuff. So it's kind of an aside, but I put all those things in there. The rest of my week, let me actually just take a quick peek at it. The rest of my week is literally every single day hockey. And then, thank you, Monkey. I appreciate that. Just got an email about that. That's a random thing, actually, that is important. I just got an email saying that somebody followed me on Twitch, so I extremely appreciate that. I need to do that thing. I was playing around with my my scenes earlier. Like I have a gaming stream scene thing on Streamlabs, but I don't have not looked into how to do the little things when somebody follows you, like a little notification thing on the stream. Haven't done that yet, but we'll get into all that. So anyway, like I was saying, there's lots of hockey. I'm on 3 hockey teams. There's a tournament coming this week. Like I'm going to play a lot of hockey in the next 3 weeks, and 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and yeah. So it's very exciting that I get to go out there and play as much as I do, but it's it takes away from the other stuff that I need to do. So just time management, all that shit. Played 2 games tonight. Won. It was a good time. Yeah. So time management is important. I try to get lessons out of these things that I'm doing every day and pass those on. So time management is hugely important. Communication, if you're with somebody else, and just keeping a detailed fucking calendar. I know people, I don't actually know people that don't keep calendars, but I know there are people that don't keep calendars. Like I don't have this conversation that often with people, but it's like, I don't understand how you live your life. So hopefully it works out for you. But yeah, so that kind of takes care of that. Then this next thing here, like PNC for Raise. So like my grandmother has a restaurant and they have PNC and they've had a business account for a long time. And it just reminded me today what I did, and I helped them get like online, nothing crazy, but it just reminded me how bad I hate PNC, like how much I hate PNC. And it actually, like the associate that we dealt with was great. They actually fixed the problem, and it was kind of like a dual problem between like us and them and whatever, but it was just so very strange. Like I don't understand how the issue really arose, that like it looked like they were on mobile banking already or online banking, but they weren't, and I don't know. Point that I'm making is that I just really love Ally Bank and the whole system that I have built for my finances, and it's just exactly what I need. It's totally online. You don't need to go into branches or anything like that. And I found out today that they actually reimburse you on ATM withdrawals, and they never charge you on their side, and they reimburse you up to $10 per statement on ATM withdrawals. So I cannot be a bigger supporter of Ally Bank for personal finance. So if you have any questions about that, please let me know, or just kind of do your own research, because they're actually getting pretty big. But yeah, it's fantastic. I'd be more than happy to answer questions on that if you are interested. Next thing that we had, so you can't see, but over there off camera there is the laptop that I used to use before I got Big Bertha here, which I still haven't came up with an actual name. I named it SpaceX Mission Control in the actual PC name, but that doesn't really roll off the tongue that well. I just thought that'd be a funny name. So, but the big bitch here, the big red and black beast here, has replaced that old laptop. Now, that old laptop, though, is actually a really good machine. It just kind of was not really what I wanted anymore, and I had in mind build a PC and yada yada. If you've heard the story, like, it was time to do that. So ultimately, what I did was build that, and now I have finally finished transferring all the extra files off of that computer onto this machine. Just like, basically, it's a lot of footage. It's a lot of footage from things that I've been trying to film and haven't finished the videos, and a couple podcast episodes and stuff like that we're still working on. So I did that. I wiped that laptop. I removed it from like Google and Microsoft and everything like that. So and I need to sell it. So that laptop, I cannot remember how much I purchased it for. I want to say it was in the mid 1000s, so like 16 or something. I cannot be sure, and I don't know where the receipt is, and I don't, it's probably not a receipt, but I don't know, like, I don't think Dell really gives you a good like log of your shit. I think it like deletes it after a while, so I could look, but the point being, I don't really think that it was pretty expensive, and obviously it was a couple years ago, at least probably like 3-ish, maybe 4, I don't know, but it was really good then, and it's still a really good machine. The only shitty part about that machine that I ever really ran into was like the panel is pretty bad. Like it's a 4K panel, and it like has a lot of like weird like light beaming through it and like ghosting pixels in a way, but it's not like ridiculously bad, but you can really tell like on dark screens, and it's annoying. It's annoying to use occasionally when it gets bad, but then you could do one of those things where you run the colors and everything like that, and it kind of fixes it. I had a lot of success with that, but the point is that I want to sell that, and you can probably get that laptop new still if there's new ones. Like, I looked online, probably like $1,100. So I'm probably going to price it $1,000 and then just kind of see, because that's another thing too. I actually put up on my Instagram story today the way that I sell things, like my process for like buying things and then selling things. And it's something that I do every day, or not every day, but with every item, is like I try to recoup some of the funds that I've lost out of it, and just by reselling it on like Facebook Marketplace and anything. And the biggest thing is like that, we'll use that as the example, $1,000 for something, something like right on par with what it costs in a sense, like new. I love starting there because like people haggle you every fucking time that you put something on there. And like you could just be firm on your price, but like I think it's a much better way to do it where you put a price that you actually don't think you're going to get for it, because it doesn't really make any sense. And then hopefully somebody bids a little higher than they would, or you can like negotiate a higher price and like come out in a better position than if you were to like price it at like $750. Like, let's say I want $600 for that laptop. If I say $600, nobody's gonna buy it for $600. Like, it's like people just instinctually, like, they think like flea market, they think Facebook Marketplace, they just think that they need to make a deal. It's not let's make a deal. Like, if we're gonna play that game, then I'm gonna win that game, So that's really fucking annoying, but once you learn to do that, then it actually gets much better, because people think they're getting a deal, and it's like, I'm not trying to rip anybody off, but I am trying to get what I think this is worth and what it pretty much is worth. Not the laptop specifically, but just in general. So that's really annoying when people try to do that to you, but you just play the game. So that's what I would say. And there's some other tips too, like, just be very quick with response time, because most of these things are like almost like impulse purchases. And again, if you're not ripping anybody off, there's nothing wrong with just trying to get it out the door. Obviously, you're selling your shit. You don't want to have it held for that long. But that is another thing where it's like, there's been a lot of times where I haven't stepped up quick enough, in a sense. Like I get people saying like, "Yo, hey, I'm interested in this," and like, I'll miss them because either I don't respond fast enough or they find something else. So if you can take advantage of that, again, if you're not ripping anybody off, there's no problem with it. But just, again, I can't tell you why people buy secondhand stuff. Like, I don't normally do that. But I'm also the kind of guy that knows exactly what they want, and I only bring things into my environment that I know for a fact that I'm going to use a fuck ton. So Yeah, that's just kind of my 2 cents on it. But anywho, that kind of wraps that up there. I need to sell that laptop. I need to list it tomorrow, and we will see what happens with that. If anybody wants to purchase it, hit me up. It's a Dell Inspiron 4K panel, i7, half a terabyte of SSD storage. It's technically a gaming laptop. It's got a GTX, I think 1050 Ti. Dell, like I said. Anything else? I don't think so. It's a good machine. I just don't need it anymore. So that's it. I got this big beast here, and I have a Huawei MateBook X Pro with an i7 in it, and it's more than enough for me. That's perfect for what I need now. One little speedy machine to take around and do random stuff with, and then this big behemoth. Okay, so next thing I did was this is obviously quite silly in a sense. Up there's all my shit there. I wish I could highlight that, but this is obviously quite silly in a sense. But I had like some hockey socks that I wear, and they had like a hole in them, and just a random thing. It's deeper than that. I thought I might need to buy some, but I had some. So what this led me to do, though, is actually the interesting thing that I found. So I found that what I have are just like Reebok, like over the calf, like, almost like high soccer socks or baseball socks type thing. Now it's tough. I won't go into it, but like with the shin guards that I wear for ball hockey, they have to fit over it, and it's actually a pain in the ass to find socks to do that. These ones do great. But the thing that I saw was, I know that I purchased these specific socks that I had at Dick's Sporting Goods. Now, I don't know if you guys have Dick's Sporting Goods where you're at. I don't know if you've been there, if you've ever purchased items, if you've looked around what they sell. Obviously, they sell name brands, Nike, Adidas, this, that, and the other. However, I have noticed, not just with these socks, like I'm going to explain here, but with other things like shorts and shirts and all that, they actually have their own brand now. And I think this is a relatively newer thing. It's called DSG. Like, it's literally just DSG brand. It has, like, instead of a Nike check, it says fucking DSG on it. And what I think they actually did was like something that I'm almost planning to do with Fueled by Progress. So it looks like, just using the socks as the example, it looks like they went out and they said, they have the inventory, right? Like the Reebok shit is coming to their headquarters in their stores. So they went out, it looks like, and said, okay, cool. These socks are, like dimensions, material, all that sort of stuff. And then they took that information and made their own shit, like made their own brand of that sock and all that sort of stuff. So one can only assume that if you make your shit yourself, instead of like paying Adidas like whatever percentage they get for you to sell that, you've got to be coming out further ahead. And you could probably even charge less and undercut them and still make more money, because you get to keep all of it ultimately. So the point that I'm making is that is brilliant, and it goes obviously far beyond socks and shorts and all that. Like, you are becoming a brand that is, basically able to swoop in and take all of the knowledge from everyone else, and then obviously iterate and put your own spin on it. But like, take all of that knowledge that Nike has been accruing for all these years, so you don't have to start from where they started, right? You can do that with a lot of different things, and there's no harm in it, obviously. I mean, like, you should never feel bad about any of that. Like, it's open market, it's capitalism, it's all that sort of stuff. And I love it. Like, I absolutely love what they're doing with that, and I'll probably buy those socks next, because I don't actually think that they sell the other ones anymore. Like, that's the thing too, is like they have the store, so it's like I think they actually stopped selling those other Reebok socks, because they have socks exactly like that now. And why the fuck would they sell the other ones if they have the same thing just with a different logo on it? I don't know that for a fact, but I couldn't find them, because that's what I said. Like, I was thinking like, oh well, what if I need to buy another pair? So I looked, they didn't have them. So obviously it goes beyond socks, but that is awesome, and that is something that I'm going to do directly with FBP. I'm going to find, and I've already started, but we're spread out all over the place. I'm going to go to brands that I love, and I'm going to literally buy shit or find whatever, or test things out, and I'm going to take what they already do and try to put it into FBP, so we can get very close, like closer, much closer to like where they're at out of the gate. And then hopefully, you generate more influence, more traffic and stuff like that, and interest, and you just continue to roll. So instead of making all the mistakes that, people have made over time, like just go to the people that are already doing it well and see what they're doing well and see how they're doing it, and then take that information and run with it. So super excited for what's to come with FBP and like all these, other brands that we can take ideas from and iterate on. So that is interesting what Dick's is doing, and I'm excited to do it as well. Next thing that I did was right here, Tesla Model Y video. Marquez Brownlee, MKBHD on YouTube, he put out a video about the Model Y. And I want a Model 3 very badly. I guess I would rather have like a Model S, like all like super duper, spec'd out and everything like that. But ultimately, I just want a Tesla, because I think it's much more in line with like who I am, like what I want to do with, in the way that I want to live my life, in a sense. That sounds ridiculous probably up front, but I mean, just the idea, I was thinking about it today as I was getting gas, just the idea that like my car could be like my phone, where I just come in at night and just plug it the fuck in. Like, I don't understand why that's not appealing to people. Like, I loved being able to just come home and just plug my phone in at the end of the night and then be done. Like, I don't have to go out of my way to get gas. I don't have to pay extra for gas. I don't have to deal with all of that other bullshit, like oil changes and this, that, and the other thing. I don't have a Tesla yet, but I'm very excited to get one day, and it will happen. So when I'm watching a video like that, and I don't know too much about the Y, I do, but I don't. The 3 has always been the one that comes to mind because it's the cheapest and more of like, I don't need a lot of space. Like, I don't want to be high off the ground. I don't want to be, in an SUV or anything like that. So it's the S or the 3 if I was going to buy one tomorrow, which I'm not. But still, those are the ones I'm interested in. And obviously the 3 is cheaper, so that's the way that I was thinking about going. But that video was interesting. The video was very interesting for another couple reasons. It goes further beyond the actual subject. Like, I don't really give too much of a shit about the Model Y, but I'm glad I watched it, because like, they need to get their shit together. And I'm talking about Tesla here. And if they don't get their shit together, I'm worried actually about the future of the company. And there's a lot of things that I'm thinking about when I say that. First thing that comes to mind, biggest thing overall, is that I'm invested in Tesla very, very minimally right now, literally less than like a share, I think. But the reason that I am, and I was before as well, like I had like a couple shares, like nothing crazy, but like at the core of it, it doesn't really matter how much you own. It just matters like what you think of the company and like why you'd invest any money in them, right? Like, if you didn't give a shit about a company, you probably shouldn't invest any. So my thoughts with Tesla though are that people investing in Tesla are investing in like maybe the idea and like the coolness factor of the car, but ultimately they're investing in Elon Musk. And if anything happens to Elon Musk, that's going to be pretty bad, because, I don't really know like who else could take his place. I don't know too much. Like, if you ask anybody, do you know anybody at Tesla? They're going to say Elon Musk and nobody else, So that's a concern, because that doesn't seem like that's a good, good sign for longevity of like a company where, their main spokesperson is like the only person and it's like kind of the face of it, and it's almost like too in your face of a thing. It's like he's like a mad scientist, and everybody else is just kind of like, chilling or whatever. And that's probably not the case. I know there's a lot of people obviously working very hard at that company, but it's like, it's kind of concerning, because like, who is if he's really having all the ideas, then what if something happens to him? So that's the reason that it's kind of sketchy to invest. The other thing though is that they need to get their shit together, because every single video I see about new Teslas, there's fucking problems in the manufacturing. Like, there's big panel gaps, and there's, problems with like parts adhesing to the car and this, that, and the other thing. And, and there's small things, but overall the product's pretty good. But ultimately it's like, what the fuck, man? Like, you got to get your shit together. You gotta nail down these manufacturing things, because again, the combining factors, like if that stuff is not fixed and then something happens to Elon Musk or like the company, people that are deterred by hearing that might not purchase Teslas. And then if they don't do that and they don't switch over, like my thing is I'm actually don't give a shit too much about the environment. Like that's not the reason that I want to purchase Tesla. I want to purchase it for the cool factor and the convenience factor and futuristic factor. Like the environment, any environmental benefits, which I actually don't know if there are that many, which is why like I don't actually subscribe to that. Like maybe electric cars are better for the environment, maybe they're fucking not. Like I actually don't understand. I never understood that argument. Like you still have to make fucking electric, like, and you have to, pretty sure you have to make electric via burning something or powering plants and all that. So maybe it's like a better step forward, which is great, but I didn't ever see how, like, it's not like a totally different thing. Like I think, I'm not a scientist, have nothing to do with any of this, but I thought like hydrogen fuel cell cars were like, or those types of, that type of power would be the best. I could be wrong about that, but like that seems like something that's totally different and would make a lot of sense. That's off topic a little bit, but the point that I'm trying to make is that people seem to be taking to Tesla relatively well, but there's a lot of people that don't seem to be moving that way. So the concern that I would have, and I don't think it's hugely possible, because I think that we'll always continue to move forward. But like if something were to happen to Elon, or if these problems kept going, moving forward, like I think it would at least put a little bit of a slowdown to like us moving forward, going towards electric vehicles and doing like all this stuff and moving towards that, because people are going to be deterred, like with just like the panel gap shit and like all this other, stuff that's like annoying as fuck, that like you're paying a lot of money for a car. That Model Y that has panel gaps and like Marquez got from Tesla had like 7 things wrong with it, and it was like $80,000, so it's like, what the fuck, for that amount of money, and for somebody that like is going to review that thing, you would think it would be really good, and it wasn't. So the driving and everything was good. The actual quality of the vehicle was pretty good. It's just like, those types of things are like really annoying to see in an $80,000 car. So that's just my 2 cents on it, but I have faith that it'll continue to move forward, the electric car push, and like Tesla, and there's a bunch of other ones now like Nikola, and even like Porsche, and people are getting into it. So it's interesting to see, but I just can't wait. I would love to have a Tesla, and can't wait for that to happen one day. But that's my 2 cents, because I thought that was very interesting when I watched that. Yeah. And actually, I didn't realize that this next note here, this consumption process thing, was noted in here, but this is exactly what I was talking about. If you follow me, Mark J. Szymanski, on Instagram, or on my Facebook page, you'll see a story today that was like basically buy something, and then so you buy something, and I had a thing, and so my keychain or whatever was just an example, but you buy something, right? Whatever it is, then you use it frequently. Obviously, like you want to get the value out of what you're doing, but you also keep it nice. You don't treat it like shit. You don't like you have to use it like you're going to continue this process. You use it, and then whatever point, like, however long it is, or whenever you need to upgrade, you something better, more fitting, whatever the case may be. And then at that point, you're like, okay, I have this new thing. I have this new thing. It's great. It's set up and everything. Like the computer is a great example. Let's use that, because I just talked about that. So I have this new great computer. It's all set up. It's perfect. Great. Well, I have this laptop sitting over there that I don't fucking need anymore. Well, I kept it pretty nice, right? I bought it. I used it a lot. I kept it nice. I got the value out of it. But now there's no reason to really throw it away. Sometimes, depending on the item, maybe you just throw it away. Totally understand. But you have other options. You can give it away, which is not my first choice, because I paid for the shit. So I'm going to try to recoup some funds out of it. So I'm going to take that laptop and I'm going to try to sell it, right? And that's the whole thing, is like people just stop after they buy stuff. So many people that I know just like poured the fuck out of shit because they don't think about the next step, which is like, you can get some money back most of the time. Like somebody is going to buy that laptop. Somebody's going to buy it. Like, even in the worst case scenario, like it's like $50, like there's no fucking way I'd sell it for that much. But you know what I'm saying? Like even if it was $50, like that's $50 that I wouldn't have had. And that laptop would have just been sitting around doing nothing, because people always say, oh, I'm going to use that. I'm going to use that. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. No, you're fucking not. Okay? No, you're not. Like unless you are actively or planning on in the very near future going to use something, shit just piles up. And you can debate me all you want on that, but like this is why people in America and probably all over the world or whatever, but like a lot of people that I know just have shit in their house for no reason. And the reason is because like they thought they were going to use it and then they didn't. So I do my absolute best to not have that happen. Because you already have so many other things that you have to worry about and have to have in your environment that you don't need any room. You don't even have any room for extra clutter and other bullshit that you're not going to use. So that is why I do that process. And that's why I consistently try to think in that manner. Buy something, use the fuck out of it, get the value, keep it nice, upgrade to something better when the time comes, and sell the thing. I've been doing it a lot because I've had a lot of things here. The monitor I sold, did I sell the keyboard and mouse? I don't think I did. I sold a mouse that I didn't want for my other setup. I'm going to sell the laptop. Just a bunch of shit. Like even from like, my childhood and stuff like that, like things that like, scooters and different random things. Check my Instagram story. I have a whole highlight of Facebook sales, since, I don't know, probably like 6 months ago or something like that. It's just do it. Just sell the old shit and then you have money. It's great. It's a fun time. So we did that. And I can kind of I'll talk about this real quick too. So I listed on Facebook Marketplace the Orbit key, which was that little thing in my story. It's just like a little cash. I'm sorry, that's Cash Dash thing. The Orbit key is my new keychain that I got, and I listed the old one. So that is something. And then this third spot is for the laptop. So that's all related there. And then, okay, so we'll go here then. So I had my weekly finance meeting with myself, and I can kind of show you like sort of what I do there. So yeah, I'm just gonna like look. So this is Chrome for me. I use Chrome, and I have like folders and everything up here. So I have like a hockey one for all sorts of different stuff. But then right here is it's like literally the core of a lot of the things that I do. So personal finances, MJS Industries, Szymanski Media, FBP, Find a Tech, AM and the PM. So I have 5 entities. Those are all LLCs that I deal with, that I've created, and they all have specific things. They're all their own little companies, and hopefully they're going to be big companies one day, right? So this is the holding company, MJS Industries, and then this company owns Szymanski Media, FBP, Find a Tech, and AM and the PM. I've talked about this before. There's a video right now on my YouTube channel that is explaining like pretty much what everything is. But briefly, for the sake of this piece of this, the finance meeting, what I do is I come into here and like, so MJS Industries, this is the website. This is just a link to QuickBooks, and this is a link to Aslo. So I use QuickBooks Online for the bookkeeping of the businesses. I have a subscription. I literally have 5 subscriptions to QuickBooks Online, and that's paid for by each of the businesses. Those are just expensed each one respectively. And then each one of these companies has an account at Aslo. I've talked about Aslo before. I have more content coming on my YouTube channel. If you have a small business and you don't take any cash, look into Aslo. I was going to say get Aslo, like just straight up get Aslo, but I'll just say look into it, because it's one of the best decisions that I've ever made, just because it's so clean, it's so easy, it's all online. Had PNC for business banking. It was ass. So Aslo is dope. I couldn't recommend it more. And again, if you have any questions, feel free to ask me. I'd be more than happy to answer those. But yeah, so I pretty much just go through this gauntlet of stuff, and I go to QuickBooks and I sign into MJS Industries. I do any bookkeeping, like basically it's very simple. If you buy something, or if you pay for something, or money comes in or out or whatever, most of the money is going out right now because we're trying to ramp up and make more money. But if you expense something, then you just say, oh, okay, so this was a subscription to QuickBooks, or this was for web hosting, or whatever it is. You just categorize it, you itemize it, you put it in the ledger thing, you press add to the ledger or whatever, and it pretty much does all the work for you. You just need to go in and say what this was, add a little memo. So that's what I do. I do all of that for all the businesses, and then I kind of tend to check, like the Aslo accounts and stuff like that, just to make sure that we have money And I actually do all that second. What I actually do first is I go through personal finances, which there's a bunch of shit here. I won't go over all of it because I have gone over it in other streams and I want to make more content specific to it. These are just kind of, recap videos. But Ally Bank is another one. Like I said, I think earlier at PNC, like use Ally Bank for your personal shit. I only have WesBanco for literally one reason, and that's cash deposits. And this is an account that you can literally have $0 in, and you don't have to pay a fee. You will not find that pretty much anywhere else. So I'm literally using WesBanco completely. Like there's they'd actually probably not be happy that I was doing that. I mean, they wouldn't care, but they probably wouldn't be happy. So like if I have cash, I deposit into WesBanco and I move it over to Ally, because the one problem with online institutions again is you can't deposit cash. So I do that. I use Mint to track all of the personal stuff, just like net worth and somewhat budgeting, not really. And then I have a bunch of credit cards. I have 8 credit cards with different institutions. I've got some investment accounts at Fidelity, Robinhood, Coinbase, and those are things that I don't really look at a lot. And then some other bullshit down here. I actually don't really have these last 3 really at all. Those were work and school oriented. So basically, what I've decided to do for myself is every week I just go through all that. I go through all the personal stuff. I go through all the work stuff, or the work. Fuck work. I don't work. I went through all the personal stuff. I go through all the business stuff, and I take care of all that every Monday. And so what that means is basically I don't wait till the end of the month to pay my bills. I just pay them every week, so I'm just stay on top of it. So it's a great system. I'm very happy with it. I actually look forward to it, truthfully, because it's one of the enjoyable things about having a business, for me at least, is understanding the money and everything like that. Now, ultimately, not something that I want to do myself forever. I'm going to need a lot of more help in that regard, and in like video editing and all this stuff, because I am just fucked right now, like with the amount of stuff that I've put on myself. It's all very rewarding and very, very fulfilling, but it's just too much shit for me to do by myself. So we gotta do something pretty soon. As far as these other points, is there anything else? Really, just about in the scale phase, very little recurring expenses. So this is actually something that I want to touch on real quick. So as I mentioned throughout this all, like I bought this monitor. It's a 49-inch Samsung monitor. I bought this nice keyboard. I bought this mouse pad. Again, I'm going to make a video on all this stuff. This whole room has transformed so much. It's just a room in my parents' house right now, but like this section of it, my office space has transformed so much that I am extremely excited to kind of show that how it's changed and everything like that, and also say how much everything costs. Like that's a very real thing. So all these things that I've done to this room, this PC, everything like that, all of that was expensed through my businesses. Really mainly one, Szymanski Media, because that's kind of how it was all attributed to, content creation and things like that, and just like the space in general. But that being said, like the point that I'm making with these couple things here, where I'm like kind of, just about in the scale phase and very little recurring expenses and all that, is the fact that I'm not really building too much anymore. Like I am, but I'm not. I've been in the foundation forming phase of all these businesses for a long time. And right now I am just passing that, where, I really want to move into the scaling part. So like where we're trying to start making some money and focusing on that, and, just enjoying everything that kind of comes with that, if you want to say that, or however you want to put it. But the point is that let's take it back to a financial standpoint. Today wasn't many things that I needed to like bookkeep, right? It was more about, okay, just kind of looking at everything and saying, okay, well, we have some recurring expenses, but they're really very low. Like everything that I'm doing here is extremely low overhead. So if I can just start making some money, then we're going to start to recoup all the costs for like all the things that we did here, all the expenses and everything like that. And then more so, if we can start cash flowing some stuff with all the different things that we want to do, it's going to be great, because we're just gonna have such low overhead. Like, we invested some money up front to get the equipment and everything like that, but I really enjoy the spot where we're getting to now, where we can focus on bringing in income and not spending money, because I was getting tired of spending money, even though I really needed to, because I needed to get everything set up. And I'm very excited for all that. It's been a blast to get to this point, and I am happy that I did it, and we just need to move on from here. So yeah, so that's the kind of state of the union from a financial perspective. And then a couple other things. So like I said, I was cleaning up the files on my PC here. I have like a whole desktop worth of footage and all sorts of shit that needs to get kind of prioritized. I'm trying to edit the workflow, and what I'm thinking about doing is dumping all of the footage that I do onto the desktop, and then categorizing it probably in a different directory on the system somewhere that is organized by the video. So if you don't know, 2 podcasts a week. I produce 2 podcasts per week, one on Wednesday, one on Thursday. Fueled by Progress on Wednesday, and AM in the PM on Thursday. And we do those, and those are video and audio. So, we just, take care of it all. Like, we record the audio, record the video, and we edit it, and we, post it everywhere. YouTube and over on Anchor to go out to every podcasting platform. So when we do that, I need to have like a better system to kind of like work through all that, and I want to make sure that the files are all kind of kept properly when I'm working. But the other thing is, like, I only have 2 terabytes of storage on this machine, and I don't want to keep all the files. So like, this kind of runs into the next thing that I have listed here. I created a AM and the PM channel, AM and the PM clips channel. So like, you'll have a podcast that's like 2 hours long, and then there's obviously like a method of doing things where you have another channel and it's like small clips, so like little 20-minute segments of that. And that is something that I want to do, but I haven't done that yet. But the point, oh my god, I'm tired. The point of all this is that you need to have the original footage if you want to do that, or at least like the file, the video file. And once I kind of put that up on YouTube, it doesn't really let you download in 4K again, which is what I'm shooting in and uploading in. So, the point of it is, I just need a good workflow. I need to get everything out there, and then I need to delete everything, because like, I don't want to keep it, because there's no way I'm going to look at it, and I'm not going to use it again. So that is just kind of what I want to do. I want to get a better handle on that and a better workflow there. And the shitty part about it is, again, I'm one person, so it's like a lot of fucking work that I'm trying to do that and a bunch of other stuff with. So we'll figure it out. I basically forced myself to become a content creator, and a pretty fucking vigorous one at that, with all the stuff that I do. Yeah, so I love live streaming because you don't have to edit anything. You just kind of talk and put it up there. I wish we had more, engagement and everything like that, but that's, neither here nor there right now. Obviously, you got to work towards that, but I appreciate everybody that does tune in and kind of look at this stuff. It's going to be, I'm really having a lot of fun with it, and I know that it's going to be something very big one day. So, to kind of like wrap up and everything like that, and then sometimes one more random thing about this setup is like down here coming soon, like things that I have, purchased in a sense, and like, that are arriving, packages coming soon. I bought a, thank you, Wobsy. I bought a Xbox One controller because I do a little bit of gaming, and what did I do? I bought an Xbox One controller, and it should be here sometime in August, which sucks because I don't know. I looked into that too, and it's like, I don't know. It just takes a long time, but whatever. So yeah, lots going on, obviously. Today was a big day. Tomorrow, let's see if we have anything. I want to list that laptop. I need to finish the clutter clearing on this machine, and, maybe some other, I don't know, maybe some other things or whatever that I need to do. with all this, I need to edit FBP 50. Like, that's actually non-negotiable. It needs to get done because it's gonna take too long if I wait any longer. It's got to go up on Wednesday at noon, so I definitely need to finish it tomorrow. And if the Google Pixel Buds ever come out in orange, I will be buying them. If, to match my phone. If. Doubt it, though. Doubt it. Is that guy like just giving a thumbs up? That's cool. Or unless he's flicking me off. I don't know. I can't see. Yeah, I can't see. Thanks. Regardless. Lots of shit. And we're just going to keep on keeping on here. I have so many ideas. I've started to realize that I have so many ideas for videos and so much content and different stuff that I can do. It's just, it's a little bit tough to execute on all that. But we're going to keep going. We're going to keep moving. I think we're in a good spot. I think we're doing a lot of stuff. And we're going to try to figure out how to continue to do this all and start making some moolah so we can continue to do this for the rest of our life, because this is really fun. This is way better than being in a job. The only bad part right now is that we're not making any money, any consistent money. We make a little bit of money here and there from like podcast stuff, not too much. But I know that there's a lot of value in our content, and I'm excited to take steps in all realms of possibility to pull in a bunch of income streams because, oh, thank you, Wobbsy. I appreciate the thumbs up. Yeah, like I know that there is, I know there's a lot of value in all the stuff that we're doing, all the content that we can create, and all the different ideas and stuff that we're learning, and I'd love to share that with people. So yeah, we're going to continue to do that. It's been great so far. I'm very excited for what's to come. And yeah, if you're around, if you're watching this now, later, or whatever, I do these every night, and now they're streamed. As of now, they're streamed on Facebook, my Facebook page, my YouTube channel, my Twitch channel. I think it's a channel. And then also Instagram. And Instagram, real quick, is also really annoying because it's literally going to cut off like most of the screen, like pretty much like just right down the middle. So it's going to look really stupid for people watching on an Instagram, but oh well. Actually wasn't even looking at Instagram today, which was kind of silly. I should have probably done that, actually. So let's just take a peek. Let's just take a little peep. Was it even working is the question. That's actually a great question. I don't even know if it was working. It actually doesn't look like it was working. So I wonder. I don't really care that much, truthfully, because like I said, it wasn't going to be that good anyway. And maybe it like timed out or something, so it doesn't really matter. But the point is that, we're all over the place. I want to be on LinkedIn. I really want to be on LinkedIn. For certain content at least, because I have a lot of connections on there, but they're still jackasses with their beta program and whatever, so one day. But yeah, I go live every night. I do these every night. Been doing them for 3 months, and I'm really excited. Like this is like, sometimes I don't want to do it because it's just tiring at the end of the day, but I love doing this. I love talking about my day. I love talking about things that I learned. I love answering any questions that I ever get from people, and yeah. So I don't ever see myself stopping this. Well, maybe one day, I guess. But I'm really enjoying it right now. And if you think that, you can benefit from some of this content, you want to watch the journey, you want to just learn things, please consider giving me a follow, whatever the hell you do on whatever platform you're watching on. Because like I said, it's on multiple. But, regardless, I appreciate you guys tuning in. And, that's it for today. I will talk to you guys tomorrow. And hopefully one day these get better time slotted. Like right now it's 2:22 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. At some point I hope to, bump these up a little earlier, because this isn't a good idea to have actual people watch, but one day we'll get there. it's kind of just what we're doing right now. But regardless, again, thank you so much. I